major political parties appear to have crossed the boundaries of decency to transgress our peaceful activities and our focus on political schedules. On the 29th of September 2022, an eminent group of statesmen under the aegis of the National Peace Conference brought together all presidential candidates to sign a peace accord, which represents an agreed code of conduct for the 2023 presidential elections. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, it is unfortunate that despite the noble objectives of this initiative, disinformation and misinformation about the Labour Party and its candidate have become fashionable in this election season. Recently, for example, there was a false narrative being spread nationwide that His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is against the production of oil in the north. Nothing could be further from the truth. His Excellency Peter Obi repeatedly stated at various local and international fora that the greatest physical asset of Nigeria is the vast, rich land in the north, and declared his commitment as a visionary, transformative leader to exploit same for the overwhelming benefit of the Nigerian people. To the architect of consumption to production, oil in the north means more revenue for development, more jobs and opportunities. Earlier attempts to discredit Obi's candidacy through fabricated allegations of demolitions of mosques, internal deportation of northerners, issuance of ID cards, and ethnic hostilities were all resoundingly, conclusively proven to be false and without basis. As if those were not enough, just a few days ago, the presidential candidate of the APC, speaking in Delta State and referring to our presidential candidate, said it was a disgrace to mention his name. While our candidate is quite comfortable with not being mentioned, it is most unpresidential, indecorous, and disrespectful from the candidate who claims his turn at Nigerian presidency. APC's strategy against Peter Obi now appears very clearly centered on promoting falsehood in addition to empty and derogatory personal attacks. And of course, this is because they can find no contentious point of negativity to push. Little wonder that their vice presidential candidate has consistently put to shame the noble heritage of the great Borno Empire in his unguarded and uncultured public pronouncements, which expose his intellectual laziness and discomfort with empirical facts and arguments. Regular insults, which have now become his trademark, have not spared the current vice president, whom he directed to go and sell ice cream, nor the former vice president, whom he described as a pure water seller, a noble venture which serves the populace better than a certain white substance. It is pertinent to recall how Mr. Shettima, at a recent public event, belittled Atiku Abubakar's educational qualification, as well as the modest lifestyle of Peter Obi. Clearly, Mr. Shettima is out of touch with reality I cannot understand that people like Peter Obi, who have reached the heights in business and material achievement, from anywhere needs a credible and competent president. Simple. Going beyond comments of candidates, it is important to further highlight some other developments of concern to us in the Labour Party. We are concerned about the fate of areas designated by security agencies as ungoverned spaces, which contain legally delineated polling units. It is necessary for INEC to clearly address the nation on how it intends to handle the challenge of conducting elections in these areas. Over the past few months, we have witnessed various attacks on Labour Party offices, meetings, and our members in parts of the country, and even INEC offices have not been spared. Just a couple of days ago, Mrs. Victoria Chintex, our vibrant and able women leader in our local government of Kaduna State, was assassinated while members of her family escaped with injuries. Senseless killings have gone on for too long. We call on government within the time left to at least make attempts at fulfilling its 2015 promises of securing lives and property while serving justice to the killers. Kindly, therefore, join me in observing a moment of silence in the remembrance of her and indeed all victims all over the country. Thank you. May their souls rest in peace. We are alarmed by the reported arrest, battery, and detention of Mr. Aminu Mohammed, a final year student of the Federal University, Dutse, over an alleged social media post about the person of the First Lady. While as we have presented earlier in this address, we will never as a party condone indecorous speech and disrespect to elders. We wish to remind the Buhari State House that they rode to power on the personal denigration of their opponents and empty promises without the slightest clues of good governance. Individuals must be free to express themselves freely, and any infraction of the law be pursued as civil matter and not through high-handed abuse of power. This is not 1984. We lend our voice to the genuine calls for his immediate release. We have so far endured the aforementioned and have taken remedial actions where necessary, and where not, we simply ignored. Civility and respect of law must not be read by misguided elements as signs of weakness on our part. It is not too late to adopt our style of strictly campaigning on relevant, practical national issues while respecting individuals and institutions. Any actions to the contrary, the people responsible must know that they will be held accountable. In the decent manner we have presented our issues here today, and in the ways of the law. 2023 elections will be different, as Nigerian electorate are increasingly becoming aware of the dangers of ethnic and religious politics, a fact that is causing anxiety, frustration, and desperation with political actors of the old order. Consequently, these attacks against us are likely only to increase. We must call on authorities to live up to constitutional responsibilities and on the general public to regard lies, misinformation, and propaganda for exactly what they are. The obedient movement under Labour Party will continue to remain faithful to founding principles and to the signed peace accord, and we equally invite all stakeholders to emulate. The next few weeks will see an escalation of election activities. I urge all who have not yet collected their PVCs to do so without delay, and to follow through to identify their polling booths, vote, and defend their votes. I wish to sincerely thank the vast majority of our people, the youth and elderly alike, from all across the nation, who have continued not just to embrace Peter Obi, my humble self, and our great party, but who are daily investing their time and resources in making sure that other Nigerians share in their conviction and imbibe the urgency of positive action in the coming elections. With us, a new Nigeria is possible. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you all for listening. Thank you very much. I've recognized the news. So we're going after legal, confirmed, written information. And that is one. Two, we're trying to make contacts with the family and find out if they've already appointed a lawyer. Then we also want to be properly guided by lawyers, after which we'll decide the very best way, after seeking legal counsel on how to help the young man. It is very instructive to us that after having suffered 8 months of ASU strike, final year students must be returned to school immediately. But right now, we want to know his condition. We even want to know if he's alive, first of all. Because when it involves battery, then somebody's life could be at risk. His physical condition, if he needs hospital care, immediately be provided and then return back to school immediately. We're trying to get across to his parents. And then to have legal, what you call locus stand I to begin to act. The comments of the candidates really have minimal impact on our presidential candidates, on the party, and on the movement. However, it does not sound right, and it keeps sending out the wrong signals to continue to make unguided statements. They might continue to fall down to nothing. Some might just walk out and may walk out big time negatively. That is why all bad statements must stop. That is why we must respect all candidates of all parties, however high or low, however rich or otherwise that they are. Respect is very, very important. It also includes respect and sensibilities of ethnic groups and faiths. If these things go unchecked, very easily, the likes of Shetima will be carried away to make comments that will cause civil unrest. It is very important they are called to order. About our fortunes in the southeast, again, I doubt. Our fortunes in all over Nigeria were no longer being limited to the southeast. The gains we're making in northwest now and the northeast overshadow what has been achieved in the southeast in terms of percentage increase. Those destructions were simply calling the attention of authorities. We believe they will stop, and the 2023 elections will hold peacefully, and the due winner will be declared. Thank you.
So I'm calling on Mr. Eze Ocha, Authority newspaper. Please.
Be more careful about how and when we release it. I assure you, very soon will be released, and we will go to the polls with a solid manifesto. Your second question is a very intelligent one, and I came here prepared for it. Now, when a gentleman has himself spoken about the subject, I repeat, Mr. Shetima actually owned up to his inaccuracies and shortcomings as far as public appearances are concerned. He began that statement by acknowledging that he has now come back to order by dressing appropriately. So if another person speaks about it, he's very much in order. It is not uncomplimentary in any way. I simply reiterated the compliments he gave himself. Thank you.
Gabriel, this day.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vice President to be. My name is Emmanuel Gabriel. I report for This Day newspaper.
Withdraw from the peace accord. And for that matter, any action that brings peace and prosperity to Nigeria. 1. 2, it is not only unguided statements that the ruling government has been violating. The first to suffer were their campaign promises of 2015. So we are not surprised that they will make promises about speaking responsibly during the 2023 elections and again renege or fail in them. This is one of so many failures and disappointments that Nigerian people have been suffering since 2015. And again, that informs this particular press conference. That underscores the need for it to have been held. It underscores how important it is and the justice that you, our friends in the press, will take and make out of this press conference. It's very, very important that we bring an end to this campaign of negativity against opponents. Like I said, we invited all of them, that it's not too late to adopt our style of campaigning. Strictly concentrate on your philosophy, your strategy, your policies, and your action plans. None of them has spoken about anything like our C2P, consumption to production. How would a government that has been in power for 8 years not have a simple, convincing project to its people? The only thing is that they have seen a promising leader. Therefore, continue to attack. Continue to attack. This should not continue. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. So I'm calling on Onyeka.
We believe that the National Peace Committee has its relevant organs. And there are matters of legality of the direct assaults, like physical assaults that have legality attached to them or criminality attached to them, which the institutions or persons directly involved will have to make those reports. Labour Party, leading the obedient and enshrouding the obedient movement, has a different mode of operation. Key among them is this press conference that we're holding. You don't go about reporting Mr. Shetima because he denigrated the personal qualities and modesty of His Excellency Peter Obi. I won't go all the way to Mina to tell General Abdul Salam that they've insulted my boss. Instead, I will endure it, like we've said. When they collect and they are heightened to a level that we are in today, we hold a press conference like this, and we remind everybody, we remind the nation what everybody has been doing. Like we said, civility is not a sign of weakness. There's a right time to do everything. Now we're making our report to the Nigerian electorate, and the Nigerian electorate will act appropriately. Thank you. Next question, please.
All right, Dele.
Relevant, and I really thank you for them. Going straight to the point, let me reiterate a major bullet point I made in the Lagos Town Hall meeting. The moment you have a group of leaders who are not, forgive my language, okay, stealing your money, the Nigerian people are already being pulled out of poverty, because the money not being stolen will be spent on the Nigerian people. Two, the moment you have a group of leaders that mean business and that know business, your economy is already starting to be healed. Specifics beyond that is that there will be major policy shifts. For example, reshaping, redirecting, and savings from the scandalous fuel subsidy, the scandalous and fraudulent multi-tier foreign exchange system be saved, use our FX more intelligently, more honorably, stop the stealing of Nigerian crude oil, meet up our OPEC quota, begin to produce and refine oil locally in Nigeria, scrutinize the budgets, remove every element of waste. Then remember, we have been preaching and promoting procurement efficiency. And I tell you, what 1 billion naira is doing for you now, the same 1 billion naira will be able to extract anything from 2 to 5 times more value for Nigeria. Why? Neither the president, his vice, or anybody for that matter is having interest, personal or political interest, in the works of government, money spent for Nigeria is only going to work for Nigeria. And many more. The time will not permit me to state all of them here. Rule of law. The assurances I'm giving you is practical because we believe in the rule of law. His Excellency Governor Peter Obi is on his way back to Nigeria, and in the last 48 hours has engaged us here to work on this press conference because we believe in constituted authority discharging its responsibilities. We also believe in the impact and effects of civic responsibilities of our citizens. You can begin to read from here, from what we're doing here and now. We believe in the rule of law, and it can only get better with time. Don't forget that we hold ourselves to account, and we ask others to hold us to account. Listen to us carefully during the rallies. We promised there will be no excuses. We will never come to power and after 1 year blame a government past their responsibility. No. We become responsible for Nigeria from the day we are sworn in. If you committed a crime, you will be responsible for that crime. Will not be responsible for it. If you stole Nigerian money, you'll be responsible for it. Will not be. But we're responsible for bringing you out. We believe in the rule of law. And we said it. Stop the killing, start the healing. Stop the stealing, start the keeping. Stop the slide and start the climb. Thank you so much. In case there is no other question, but I can take one or two more.
Chinedu from Vision FM.
Yes, I need your attention on this answer I'm going to give you. Maybe you switch off your own. Oh, okay. No one has ever heard me speak about the health conditions of baba-ahmed Tinubu, or for that matter, any other person. No one has ever heard me, and I cannot be quoted. And I can speak for His Excellency Governor Peter Obi. We don't speak about their personal conditions, and any God-given talents, because there is philosophy behind this. There is morality behind it. I personally believe that the health in you, in anybody, is bestowed by Almighty Allah. And Peter Obi made the same comment. When Tinubu could not show up for a variety of events, we spoke and he said, I really hope this gentleman is all right. He expressed that concern. I really, really hope Tinubu is okay. And Peter Obi and myself will not hold it against him that he is not well. The health and the strength in Peter Obi is not his own making. God gave him. The health and the strength in me now and for everybody is not our making. God gave us. We really sympathize with Peter Obi, and we will not hold it against him. With Tinubu. We sympathize with Tinubu and will not hold it against him that he is not well. However, Nigeria is too great for any individual's ambition, individual and group. Nigeria is too great. I refer us to President Goodluck Jonathan, who said his personal ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian, and handed over the government. A well-respected leader all over Africa, and indeed the world today, baba-ahmed Tinubu, claims to be a godfather. He can continue to be a godfather if Nigerian presidency is not for him. It is not in our place, Peter Obi and myself, to tell him that you're sick. Please go and relax. If you think you can, be our guest. Come to the field. We beat you. And even in doing that, we will treat you kindly and show respect to you. When we beat you, take you back home and show you how we will handle Nigeria. But anybody who means well for Nigeria and knows that they have shortcomings, for God's sake, step aside. It is not the first time in our history. Step aside. Give way. There are others who will do the job better. I thank you very much for coming. Thank you so much.